Hey everybody, this is Phoenix. Ankaa got a big update for you for 54 earthquakes in New Zealand in one day, 24 hours. Also, Lake Taupo has an update that we really need to get to you. Very important. Let's do this. Hello everybody, let's get into this video. There's some things that really caught my eye. Yesterday when I got ready to do a video on New Zealand, they had 62 earthquakes in one day. I had actually counted that there were 62 in one day. And I was going to do an update on Lake Taupo. However, what's taken place is, since I first was going to do the video, one of the screens that I was using is missing. It's no longer accessible. And it pertains to New Zealand. As you can see, this says 5.0 and it happened 15 minutes ago in New Zealand. Now when we get to New Zealand stats, I want you to tell me if you see a 5.0 for today, and it's not going to be there. Okay, and that just happened. This is considered in New Zealand. Part of it's the Kermadec Islands. However, that particular part, as you can see that it did say New Zealand. Let's see if this one down here, if the other one says New Zealand also. Yes, most of the ones on this side here normally say New Zealand. This side over here says, oh, they changed it. That's it. An hour ago. Okay, now get this. Hour ago, 4.2. 15 minutes ago, now 19 minutes ago, it was a 5.0. So I want you to see whether or not you see a 5.0 when we get to the other screen. And I really need you to be a witness on this. Now, Lake Taupo, very beautiful place. At the very end of the video, I'll show some beautiful scenes of Lake Taupo. But right now there's a 12-millimeter uplift in this area right here because of this is a volcano. This right here, what you're looking at, is a caldera. This is a volcano. It shocked me. All this time I was looking at this place and it came out that it's a volcano. And with all these clusters of earthquakes that's happened over the last week, we just got an update, found two new things. Sorry about that it switched screens on me. But back to Lake Taupo. Lake Taupo apparently had actually started rising and also started having a lot of earthquakes in May of this year. So they've been paying a lot of attention to this particular area because they're trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Now, it hasn't erupted in a very long time. It's one of the old extinct, so they say, earthquakes. However, with it starting to rise, it's starting to bring a lot of attention. But as you can see, there are definitely a lot of earthquake clusters in this area. There's also cones, volcanic cones, that are also situated in this area as well. There's also areas underneath the water that can possibly be a threat as far as being a volcano as well, or cone. But just want to let you know that they've had, now it says 52. Wow, that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? It's about 52 different earthquakes happened in the last 24 hours. Yesterday it was 62. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a video. I had to take care of some things, and I was like, oh no, I wanted to let them know about that. But yeah, they're having earthquakes still in New Zealand. They're having a lot of low earthquakes right now, low magnitude earthquakes, 2.6, 3.5. That happened about 4 days ago. But let's look at the more recent. 11 minutes ago there was a 1.6, and if we take a look over here, we'll see 17 hours ago there was a 2.7. Here's another more recent, 3 hours ago there was a 2.7. So they're having in like the twos right now. Yeah, 2.4, 18 hours ago. Okay, yeah, they're starting to have the twos. Now, a few days ago, it was about the same. But the main concern right now is Lake Taupo is starting to rise, and it's starting to get a great deal of earthquake clusters. Now, they're not large earthquakes. However, they are at a substantial size. Now, someone had mentioned online that there was a 4.5 at Lake Taupo, and I've been trying to find it, but I don't see that particular earthquake. If I run across it, I will be sure to cut another video real quick and just let you know what I'm seeing. Now, let me take you over to some other slides. Now, we were talking about the stats for the earthquakes for New Zealand. We saw a 5.0 that had happened within 20 minutes ago. But if you look at the New Zealand statistics, you will not find a quake that is a 5.0 magnitude or higher. That is what my concern is about the reporting here as far as New Zealand is concerned. Now, it does state that they did have the 4.6 that was on Wednesday. 4.9 was also on Wednesday, but they say in the South Pacific Ocean. Now, I'm going to click that and see if they've moved those stats for the 5.0 in that particular area. But they are reflecting, at least those are reflecting here on New Zealand. 54 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. 26 quakes were 2.0. 8 quakes were 3.0 and higher, and 1 quake was a 4.0 or higher. And as you can see, this is what's recently happened just today alone. And you can also see that people are actually starting to report, they're going to start reporting that they're feeling these. Well, we got one report there. That one happened at 9:39 GMT time, plus 12. Now, I don't see too many more, but a lot of these are little small earthquakes. Here and there, you will see a 3.5, 3.3, let's see, 3.2. A 3.3, 4.2. That one happened 1 hour and 21 minutes ago. 3.5 happened an hour and 21 minutes ago. You see that back to back. And that's about as far as the 4s and the 3s. So far, it's just been 2.5 and 2.6. But we're going to keep our eyes open for you all out there in New Zealand, especially for Lake Taupo. Hopefully you'll get some local news also on Lake Taupo. I would definitely make sure that I would keep track of that if you live in that vicinity, or if you know someone that lives in that vicinity. I hope this video has been able to help someone or inform someone of something that's going on in New Zealand. And just want to make sure that if there's anything that's going on, that we get it to you. Now, one thing I did promise you was to go ahead and click here. Let's see if they're putting this in South Pacific Ocean now instead of New Zealand. And it doesn't want to come up. There we go. Aha! So this is where some of your stats are going over here, and it says 89. The stats for New Zealand would be higher if all the ones for New Zealand were in New Zealand. Now check this out. In the last 30 days, there was a 6.7 in the South Pacific Ocean, New Zealand. Okay, now that just says South Pacific Ocean. That could be anywhere. But let's take a look and see what they're talking about. What all? Okay, so they're counting all the way up here, near Fiji. That's really unfair to New Zealand. Now this right here is the 5.0 I was talking about. We should be able to find this, hopefully, in the near future on the New Zealand statistics for earthquakes. It has a 2.5 and a 2.6. It has a 3.5, but it did not have the 5.0 on the New Zealand stat. It was split away from here. And here's another 3.3. Let's see if we can find any more. 2.1. Are there any more hiding here? There's even one for Peru on this particular map as well. So New Zealand, from now on, when I look up your earthquakes, I will be sure to look on this map and also your map. Apparently, let me make sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bookmark this particular. I'm going to bookmark this. I'm just going to drag it to my thing here. But it might disappear like the other one did, and I hope it doesn't. But like, share, and subscribe, and I hope this video did help someone and inform them of some information that was going on in New Zealand. Take care, be safe, be good to yourself. Ciao.